Hi friends, we're in a little mini series having to do with the Jewish Passover, Yeshua's Last Supper with his disciples, which was a Passover Seder, and the International Christian Communion. How does it all fit together? Well, the next item we're doing, according to the Jewish tradition, is the bread. There's actually, as I count, 5 different times across the Passover Seder that you have some element where you break the bread and you eat it. Of course, you have the a simple blessing for the bread, which is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has brought forth bread from the earth. Now, it's amazing, of course, to think that you see this element of bread, which is the most basic element of human food and life, is being sanctified and set apart with spiritual symbolic meaning, both in the Jewish Passover and in the Christian community. And is there any connection? Well, the connection is, of course, exactly in Yeshua's last Passover supper. That it was a Passover supper, and that was a moment where it was exactly at the same time. Was that a Christian communion or was that a Jewish Passover? It was both at the same time. So it all fits together. When we go to the roots of the last Passover supper with Yeshua, it unites Judaism and Christianity and all of the symbols and faith, and you realize it's really all the same thing at the base and at the core. Well, one of the most fascinating things about the matzah, the unleavened bread, of course, there's many different meanings for it, but one thing is that in the blessing, one of the blessings toward the end of the meal in the Passover Seder, you have 3 matzahs unleavened bread together, and you take this out. You take the middle piece out, and you break it in half. There's not really an explanation why, but you break it in half. I wonder where that came from, breaking the bread. All right. So, and then you take the half of it and you wrap it up in a cloth. Wonder what that reminds you of, huh? And then you hide it, and then the children play a little game at the end where they ask them to search for it, and they bring it back. And at the unveiling of it, you have the unveiling of this matzah, which is called the afikomen. It's a special surprise mystery that comes forth. Well, of course, we believe that this special meaning of this Passover matzah, that this represents the Messiah himself, and this is what he did at the last Passover Seder. He said, this bread is this matzah is to represent me, my body that's being given for you. And it's found that what he did was saying, this bread represents my body. It's interesting, both human bodies and bread are made out of the same material. He said, I'm giving this to you because I'm sacrificing my life for you. Now, again, is that a Christian communion or is that a Jewish Passover? Well, it's the same. They both came together on this day. And let's just remember that this is the real meaning. Let's take the Christian communion and bring it back to its roots and foundation at the Jewish Passover celebration of the unleavened bread. And let's see in the Jewish symbolism of the Passover Seder coming together into its fullness in the Jewish Messiah, Yeshua, where he said, take this bread and eat it. This is my body given for you. And from that Passover Seder, it went out into all the world as the most common symbol of faith anywhere. Hope you can appreciate it. In Yeshua's name.